Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, it's Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Top 5 Favorite Decks Day. Yeah, today's the day when I go back and pay homage to the people who put out the decks that I found to be the most entertaining in the last calendar month. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the person that your mom says is her favorite little man, not you, suck it, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you the top 5 favorite decks day. So depending upon when you're watching this is right there near the beginning of February, end of January. And what I like to do is look back at the previous month and pick out those 5 decks that I thought were the most fun to play, and mostly just to pick out who put those decks out and give them a great thank you for putting out such entertaining and fantastic decks. So the things we're going to be looking at today are the things we played back in January of 2025, and I thought it was a pretty good time. Like, the big thing about January is that we were, Foundation had been out for a while, everything was starting to settle, and so those decks that stood out were really fantastic decks, things that might even gone back to the past a little bit to start bringing things in, things that were surprising to a certain degree, and that was kind of cool. There was a lot of boring crap that came out this month just because we're about to roll into Aether Drift. And so at that point, all of the decks start to get a little, we run out of ideas. That's the problem. But in the case of these decks, it's either that they're old ideas brought back and refreshed a little bit, or they're brand new things I hadn't seen before. All right, so without further ado, let's see which deck is the first we're going to view. All right, we're playing against DooleyOakland. Keep. This deck loves to come out with 2 mana. I'm not a big fan of that. But we got things to do for 2, so that's good. These are the only 3s we got there, and hopefully pull a 3rd mana before we get too far. All right, he's doing something to me, looking at my stuff. Disappointing. All right, so he's trying to play mono black discard on me. There's a bat. He's got to take go for the throat. All right, next turn, we're striking that bat away. All good. What are we doing? We're doing. I don't know. I just got all uppity on the fact that I didn't want my baby mama goblin to die. He's going after that baby mama. right, we're going to teach him about pain in a separate way now. All right, he's down to 6. He'll be up to 7 if he attacks. All right, let's take it in. He's going to have to give up on the Marauding Blight Place. Has to. Might as well take out the Perforating Artist. You can't block that guy. That's a weird choice, man. What you going to give up? You can throw away your hands. 2 cards, you could do that. And again. Oh, he likes his cards too much. Probably too little too late is the problem. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room. All right, so we are with Rakdos Artist 2. V2, version 2. The reason why I like this deck is I really like, I don't know, I like making them make choices. I like them to say, where is your Sophie's choice there? What do you want to do the least? Lose life, lose a permanent, or discard a card. I love that crap. I like the fact that we can keep attacking each turn provided we have Urabrask Forge, because this guy's going to be dead anyway, so you might as well keep it going. The only reason you have to worry is if he has some sort of like lifelinker with a big butt that can just take a lot of damage or something. That would be bad. But Perforating Artist makes that choice hard. Goblin Surprise puts out a couple of dudes. That's all great. So the deck's tight. And, you know, it grinds people down. It's got a great Rakdos feel. There's a lot of tokens being generated. Impact Tremors are hitting people down. So it's just they're hemorrhaging like crazy. It's like giving them like blood fever or something. This guy's got minutes, so he's hard to block. You know, it's all good. We're just keeping it going the whole way. A little bit of control. How much we got? We've got 8 cards. I guess we got 12. That's what I thought was the best amount. If I put this deck together myself, I always go for 12 cards that deal with control. That seems to be the good amount. And this looks like my choices. I usually go for 2 well, if I have go for the throat, I like to put a little bit of Shoot the Sheriff, just because these guys can't do artifact creatures, and these guys can't do outlaw creatures. And so between the 2 of them, you got things relatively covered. So anyways, there's Rakdos Artist. And like I said, I love it because I like how grindy it is. I think it's that good. All right. One of my favorite decks from January 2025. All right, we were playing against Shrax 742. That's weird that would be the number that this person would select. 742. Keep. All right, quiet down, Stinky Cat. What does this guy do whenever, while you control a token, he gets +2/+0. Okay. Well, we could definitely create tokens next turn. I don't think we're going to do anything about a stupid bat, though. We're playing against mono black discard again. I'll be so disappointed. Let's take it down, Chinatown. All right, Goblin Surprise, give everybody +2/+0. That is a win game situation. We just got to get a bunch of guys out. That's a lot of guys. All right, he doesn't know what I have on me here. What have I got? I've got, these guys are all 3s, which 3 times 5 is 15. That's not enough to win the game. Bunch of 1/1s. Super budget tokens. All right, so we got 5 guys. So that's 15. We might be able to win it on this. The thing is, he still has more mana. He could kill enough of my guys. It's an instant. Let's see what happens here. You got some more tricks there, baby? He's down to 3. Thing is, we only got... All right, great. We win. We win at that point. Whoop, 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 whoop. Victory! All right, so we are with super budget tokens. The cool thing about this deck, I mean, it's just tokens, but the cool thing about this deck is that it literally is budget, man. I mean, is there anything that's rare in here at all? Anything that's even... I don't think so. I think we looked at this before. The only thing that's rare is that land. Yeah, it's just this guy right there. And that guy. So some lands, that's it. Everything else is uncommon or less. Uncommon or less. And what do we got? We got like, well, create tokens, create tokens, create tokens, create tokens, create tokens, create tokens, create more tokens, create a bunch more tokens. But we got a lot of those bomb cards too. You know, everything is +2/+0, +1/+0. What is this? Creature controls get +1/+1 and haste. So yeah, we got a lot of them. Goblin Surprise is great that way though, because it turns 5 into, normally this turns 5 into 10. This turns 5 into 15. Points of damage being dealt. Release the dogs, 4 tokens. Yeah, it's just tons. These guys are kind of weird. The cool thing about Monastery Swiftspear is that, you know, these guys are all spells that put out creatures. And so therefore those count for prowess. And so it pumps up the prowess. So you get these guys out early, and then while you're laying out the rest of your reinforcements, these guys are sucking up all of that goodness and laying it down on your opponent. Then by the time you get to turn 3 or turn 4, you just start laying down the Goblin Surprise or the Recruiter's abilities or the Heroic Reinforcements, and you win the game. It's simple, it's cheap, it's effective. It was, and different, very different. So that's why I really loved super budget tokens in January of 2025. All right, playing against Krissey. Krisse. That's the name of the spell. It's Krissey. Keep. What are we taking out here? 2 or fewer. Let's put out the Scavenger. We got to get ourselves, we can get the Rotten Mouth out as quickly as possible. Let you put something out. I got to put out an enchantment to get this to happen. Just pump it, huh? There's nothing worth doing. I don't care about the Vanguard at all. Let's pass those gifts around. No attacks in turn. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are you? You're fast, so I could do this without killing off the Hex Maze next turn. All right, you want to give up your roaming throne there? All right, we have entered. All right, hopefully we keep that Rottenmouth alive. That'd be fantastic. I have no means to keep it alive. All right. And I got 2 more right there, baby. All right, Viper's doing his thing. He's got some ward on him and lifelink. That is fantastic. He's way bigger than what he can handle there. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! Suck it! All right, so we are with Guruguru with Snake. I forget what Guruguru meant. I think I translated it at some point. I'm not even sure if I translated the characters into the word appropriately. But that's what Google told me it was. It just meant like twisting everything around, something like that. This is, really it's coming back to just being a Rottenmouth Viper deck. That's what it really is. Rottenmouth Viper. Because what is it about Rottenmouth Viper? You want to put out permanents that you don't mind sacrificing, so you get the Rottenmouth Viper out as early as possible. And so the big deal here is that we have the ability to put stuff out, to potentially bounce it back, to then put it back out again. So we're dealing with these permanents, these enchantments, and they have good effects. So, forcing them to discard, bringing it back, forcing them to discard again, losing some life, putting out a couple of otters. All together, all these enchantments are pumping up the Optimistic Scavenger, who gets really big. We have the ability to bounce your dudes and other dudes back, or just theirs if that's what you feel like doing. Making copies of the Viper once you get it out. The big disappointing thing with this deck is if you don't get to the Rottenmouth Vipers. That's it, because the whole deck is kind of set up towards getting to it. And if you just can't draw it, then it doesn't happen. And we don't have a lot of card draw in here, so that kind of sucks. Nice thing, though, is if you get Fractured Realm open as well, and you get to trigger the ability of one of your permanents, that means you got Rottenmouth Viper happening twice whenever you attack. And that is devastating. They have to give up like 8 life, or 2 cards or 2 non-land permanents. Yeah, this guy is great. He's a lot like the artist, except he's like an expensive version. A little bit more life. He got a 6/6 out of the deal too. Wouldn't mind putting together the artist with the Rottenmouth Viper. I just got to worry about too much of the good thing. That's the problem. So altogether, it was a cool ass deck. That's what I liked about it. A good amount of control. You got a little bit of tricksiness to it. And then once you're able to drop the Rottenmouth Viper relatively early, then they have to struggle to deal with it. And that makes for a cool ass fun deck. I just really like Rottenmouth Viper. He's a cool card. I just don't like the fact that he just has zero way of protecting himself. But being able to bounce this guy out and then bounce him back in later on, yeah, that is some good stuff. All right, so there you go. Guruguru with Snake. And we'll play against ri.noa. ri.noa. 2 mana. Keep. Because we cannot play the Fuseling first. Pumpkinhead dogs. All right, come on, ri.noa. Nope. So we're going to put out Thrain, just because when Urabrask Forge happened, Thrain's going to start punishing him. Punish! All right, next turn we can put out the Archfiend. That might be nice. All right, he's not going to be attacking me with the Archfiend out like that. I mean, unless he really wants his guy. That might be a thing worth trading for. All right, I'm going to go ahead and encourage this brat. Strength and honor. Yeah, he was going to get through no matter what. There goes it from Urabrask Forge. That's disappointing. I can just go for 2 kills. That might be fun. All right, we'll see where he passes his token onto, and then we'll shoot that guy. Well, it must be done, must be done. We're going to win anyway, I believe, here. And we win. Touchdown, Lava Bears. All right, so we are with Enduring Oil. Enduring Oil. What did I like about this deck? I liked it because it was like Phyrexian Tribal. I liked it because we had Magnetic Sprinter and Urabrask Forge in there, and Enduring Courage, which totally rocks the Forge up like crazy. I like the fact that Magnetic Sprinter can help keep your Archfiend of the Dross in for longer than his normal 4 turns. I like the fact that we have a bunch of dudes that are passing out haste, which means that Archfiend of the Dross can actually attack on the first time he comes into play. There's so many great things about this particular deck. There's a lot of great cards and a lot of ways of getting over their initial problems. I like the fact that Cavern of the Souls makes it so that you can't be countered as well. So that way counter spells against your creature type, in this case Phyrexian, isn't going to happen. And worst case scenario, let's say you have 2 of them, you can pick Glimmer or Dog or something like that. Just so you can keep that guy out without him getting countered. Man, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But it has a good amount of creature control in here between Go for the Throat, Nowhere to Run, Cut Down. Yeah, it's just a well-balanced deck. It's got great tribal synergy going on. And it's aggressive in a Rakdos-y kind of way. So, yeah, it's a fantastic deck. Tons of fun. Totally the kind of thing I like to run all the time. This might have been my favorite deck of January 2025. All right, playing against jpvisuals. Ooh, well, green is the hard part about this deck. Keep. Hopefully we'll find our green. We don't. Oh, there it is. That's exactly what we need. All right, turn off the beastie. Those guys kind of, I find them to be annoying. You can take a card, but I will smite. I will smite if you don't pick that card. There you go. Yeah, I can take him out, get my smite back. I don't know. Is it worth it? I don't know. We'll see what else he puts out. He's playing black. Is he playing black discard? We just got to get up to 5, in which case then we can put out the doubling season and hope we get ourselves a sweet googly people. Sure. This will draw me a card. Sunfall. Everything I need is 5. But then again, the things I want to do with it are 5. Then we're going to blow away Sunfall. That's all there is to it. Yeah, Yuba Duba. All right, so we're beating on Liliana right now. That's great. Temporary lockdown, take out almost all my guys. What do these things cost? 2. We can take all that out. It cost me 1, and then I need 5 mana. I got 5 mana. We can go for it. We're gonna go drop Liliana like a bag of bricks. All right, let's go next. Take out poor Liliana. Go for his face. Create some more babies. I'll tell you, let's make him flying. Let's do that. We keep that bad off us for a second. That'd be great. We'll keep all that in our hand. We're fine. Love me in Urabrask Forge. So we gotta keep this guy. Should we? Nah, he's more than enough to take it out. He's good. Look at that 8. They just came into play. Down to 6. Suck it, suckerfish. All right, this is where he's going to wipe the board, probably. And we win! In your face, Duffy Moon! In your face! All right, so we are with Naya Forge, which is really, it should be called Naya Doubling. I mean, that's the deal, is it's all about doubling season and about just doubling everything you do. I mean, you have a doubling season out, you put out the Archangel, that gives you 8 loyalty counters, you know? If you have doubling season out, you play Sunfall, then your dude is twice as big as the number of creatures you just nuked. Caretaker's Talent, you know, will let you draw 2 cards or something. I don't know what it does. But you know, you create, when you do the second ability, you create 2 target things, which then draws you 2 cards. Yeah. So I mean, this deck is full. The thing I like about it, I mean, the thing I kind of don't like about it is that there's so much creature kill, board wipes, right? Between Temporary Lockdown and Sunfall. You know, those I feel like we're kind of cheating. I think board wipes should be pretty rare, and this deck is locked down with like 8 of them. But we have so much other creature kill between Get Lost, Lightning Helix, Soul Partition, Elspeth's Smite. We're just going town on trying to keep people from doing stuff, and I feel kind of bad about that. At least in the game we played, we were playing, right? We were putting out lots of dudes. We were making copies of things. We were pumping them up. We were coming in for attacks. So this deck has the ability to be more mid-rangey than control. And that makes me feel better on the inside. A little bit better, just a smidge. So the big thing about this deck, though, is you got to get that green. You only need 1 stupid green, and we have 0 green, like full-on forests in here. But we do have a lot of dual lands. But what is that total? We got like 4, 6. That's it. We got 6 mana that could potentially be green at some point. Apparently that's enough because you got until like pretty much the end of the game, till turn 5, to get it. But after you get doubling season out, everything else just goes to town. And that's why this deck is so fantastic. All right, so there you go. Naya Forge, one of my favorite decks of January 2025. And here we are with my 5 favorite decks from January 2025. What were they again? It was Rakdos Artist V2 by yours truly, Dr. Yukon Suckett. Super budget tokens from Amor Betterson. All right, Amor Betterson. Guruguru with Snake by Murasame Ming. Enduring Oil by our pal T. Stokes. And Naya Forge by Untapped GG. Yeah, so thank you very much for those of you who put those decks out and allowed me to play them, because it's what the game is about, is having fun with your favorite decks out there. And this was a nice split. You know what's really nice is seeing the resurgence of T. Stokes. What was his name? Tay Malice before. He changed his name. But the guy's kind of got dropped off of the radar. And I love his deck so much. I mean, he likes to play mono black. He likes to play Rakdos, and that is right up my alley. So, T. Stokes, I wish you put more decks out. I don't want to put pressure on you, but I'm just letting you know that you have somebody just waiting to see those things come back around. Enduring Oil, super cool because of the Phyrexian Tribal. I just remember I used to really like Phyrexian Tribal quite a bit. I felt guilty because Phyrexians were the bad guys, but you got to remember, this is just a game. You could be the bad guys. And man, from New Phyrexia, God, they were horrible back then. The ones that came out with just recently, that are current within standard right now, from whatever, you know, all BO1, those Phyrexians aren't as bad as New Phyrexia because Infect is not here. That was just over the top. But still, they were great as far as their synergy, the way they worked together, the effects they had on getting bigger and grinding people. Yeah, that was really good. So I'm glad he put that together. I was thinking about trying to go back and fish one out myself, but seeing the T. Stokes put out a Phyrexian Tribal deck was great for me. Guruguru with Snake by Murasame Ming. I kept remembering how much I loved good Rotten Mouth Viper decks, and we haven't been seeing them for a while. And I thought, I should try to play that again. And then suddenly there's a Snake deck. And yeah, it was great. Maybe I went looking for it. That might have been the thing. But it was a good deck. I like it. What I like is the fact those snakes come out so early. You think, oh, it's going to be 6. It's going to cost a lot to get it out. You know, you can always use Mortify or Zombify or whatever to get it back. But the fact that they play for so cheap, it's easy to get out things that you can sacrifice you don't care about. Yeah, Guruguru Snake, great, great, great deck. The other one that really surprised me was super budget tokens. That was just every card that put out multiple token creatures, right? So you weren't playing creature cards, you were playing spells that put out creature tokens, which then triggered prowess. So it was fantastic. Plus, we had so many of those bomb cards that pumped them all up. So it was a simple deck, it was a beautiful deck, and it was, from a money perspective, incredibly cheap. Let's see. I put together Rakdos Artist. I really liked the Perforating Artist. I thought he was cool. The reason why is he reminded me a lot of Snake. It was nice that he was only 3 to put out. Yeah, I mean, he's only does like 2 less damage to the opponent than the Snake does. Everything else is exactly the same, right? That Perforating Artist is great. The grindiness of that deck is fantastic. I thought it was a great deck. I liked it a lot. When I came back, I wasn't sure if I even put it together. Then I was putting this list together and see who was the person to put up Rakdos Artist V2. Turns out it was me. So thank you very much, Self. You did a good job on that deck. And lastly, Naya Forge. I mean, I just played that thing a couple of days ago. It ended up becoming one of my favorite decks of January. I loved Doubling Season and its effect on everything. I think I tried playing Doubling Season before. You have to wait till 5 to get it out. That's the thing about Doubling Season. A lot of times, you know, if you're playing like a good aggro deck, like a good aggro boy should, you don't get to 5 mana. It just doesn't happen. But, you know, Naya Forge, there's lots of control. You're slowing the game down. You're getting to where you can put out that Naya Forge, and then everything else you do at that point on is just nasty, nasty, nasty. So it was beautiful. I disliked playing so much control, slowing the game down, but for the payoff after turn 5, yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful. All right, so there you go. If you decide to play with any of these 5 decks, I hope that you have as much fun with them as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.